Howdy YouTube, a really cool set of figure reviews for you today, and that's because we're taking a look at the figure toys company, the rising stars of wrestling. We've got the phenomenal AJ Styles, Kenny Omega, and Doc Gallows. Three fantastic looking figures. If I'm honest, I'm a big New Japan Pro Wrestling fan. I actually went and saw them last night for their Melbourne, Australia tour, which was fantastic. Can't speak highly enough of that. I've definitely been enjoying it a lot more than WWE, at least at this point. And when I saw these figures, I had to pick them up. Really cool designs, really cool accessories. I like that they've used pretty high quality material for the entrance gear. The figures themselves look very reminiscent of the old Jakks figures, so I'm excited to compare them scale-wise to the Mattel and also the older Ruthless Aggression style figures, just to see how they stack up. Visually, though, they look great. They come in the standard Rising Stars of Wrestling packaging, so you have a nice shot on the side there of each wrestler, which is kind of cool. It comes in a more collector-based style packaging, which makes sense because at the $50 price point, that's pretty much the only people buying these. But with that, let's get these guys opened up and out of packaging. Just a quick look at the back of the packaging. You can see the other figures available. You've got the Legends series, which is kind of cool. And then a whole range of figures, basically from Ring of Honor, that have crossed over into New Japan and so forth. In particular, there's some really cool ones that I didn't pick up. There is a Kevin Steen figure, which of course has Kill Kevin Kill as opposed to Fight Owens Fight. So a lot of cool stuff like that. Tama Tonga last night was fantastic in the main event as well, teaming with Kenny Omega. That was really cool. But with that, let's get these guys opened up. And here we have all three figures opened up and out of packaging, and honestly, they are fantastic. They would have to be three of my favorite figures. Awesome, awesome work by the figure toy company. The detailing on these guys is awesome, and I will, I guess, bring it forward so you guys can see each one individually. We will start with Kenny Omega, the cleaner, absolutely killing it at the moment. Awesome matches with Okada last year. Excellent match with Chris Jericho this year. The figure, I think, does him pretty good justice. I'll try and zoom in for you guys so you can see the face. Very nice indeed. They did a good job with the hair, the face sculpting as well. Nice detail on the back. You can see, obviously, the Omega. You've got somewhat of a Bullet Club themed jacket, which I think is pretty cool. Soft rubber as well, which is really nice. You can obviously take the cloak off. I'm not going to. Same with the other accessories on some of the other ones, especially you'll see with the AJ Styles. They have used a real zipper, and it is pretty fragile, and I don't particularly want to damage them. But visually, they are fantastic. We've got Doc Gallows. I love the face paint on this. Reminds me a lot of the old TV show Revealing the Magician's Secrets. Nice detailing as well. Underneath, cloth pants, shirt, and entrance cape. So a really good job with this guy. Great detailing. They went to a lot of effort. Even though you are paying a fairly high price, the standard for an elite Mattel figure is $35. So this is $15 more. Mind you, it is a much more niche market, but the detailing on this, I think, is a lot better than the Mattels. Does it justify the price? I guess it comes down to personal preference, but certainly the quality feels a lot higher. Really like the back of this as well. Nice detailing. Articulation-wise, you've got ball-jointed heads, ball-jointed arms, swivel in the bicep, bend at the elbow, swivel wrists, swivel waist, swivel in the legs, bend at the knee, no swivel in the calf area, but you do have a swivel ankle. So your standard, basically Jakks articulation or basic Mattel series figure movement. There is some nice detailing on the tattoos, especially for Doc Gallows. It is very reminiscent of an old Jakks figure. Probably because it is. Now we've got AJ Styles. This one, detailing wise, is probably the best of the lot. That is an excellent face scan. Talk about nailing an evil AJ Styles. I think they did a great job with that, especially, it's probably hard to see on camera, but underneath the eyes, he's got some really fine red paint. Makes him look bloodshot, makes him look very evil. As you can see, obviously the zipper opens and closes, which is very, very cool. Really nice feature. Soft rubber and then cloth cape, which I think is just super cool that they did that as an accessory. Loving the black color scheme as well. Very, very cool. All three of these figures I think are must-haves, especially if you're fans of the Bullet Club or these wrestlers individually. They are excellent. So you can see they scale perfectly with non-WWE or Mattel-based wrestling figures. There is the Ringside Collectibles exclusive Hulk Hogan. You can see that scales perfectly with these guys. Okay, so this is really, really cool. The figures scale exceptionally well with the WWE Mattel Elite figures. Not all of them, but with some of them you get really good comparisons. You can see that Chris Jericho is only slightly smaller than the Kenny Omega, so really happy about that, especially after the Wrestle Kingdom 12 match. You'll be able to get some good setups with that, so that's awesome. Nakamura, who is obviously quite tall, he's a lot bigger than AJ Styles, so the scaling is slightly off there, but you can see by no means does this scale of figure not fit in with the Mattel ones. Looks fantastic. Now, one thing I will show you guys is a comparison between an Elite AJ Styles and a Rising Stars of Wrestling AJ Styles. Okay, so here you have the Elite AJ Styles. I really like the face scan on this one, but the body to me just seems a little bit too small. If I had to choose out of the two, I would take the Rising Stars of Wrestling one. Just the quality on it I think is a lot better. The scaling obviously doesn't fit in perfectly, but I think they did a really good job with that. You can see obviously the Jack's Ruthless Aggression style figures are virtually the exact same as these. Similar build mold, similar articulation, similar scale. So that's really cool to see. Honestly, awesome figures. I'm a big fan. I'm really happy that I was able to pick them up. The detailing on them is fantastic. Yes, the price point is substantially more than your standard Mattel figure, but it's a much more niche market, especially if you're a New Japan or Ring of Honor fan. It's pretty much the only way to get some of those wrestlers, Gorillas of Destiny, the Young Bucks, etc. All really cool figures that are well worth picking up. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this review.